All right, the 2024 Player's Handbook seems bound and determined to make your characters more powerful. Through new choices and new rules, everything is just getting a shine and a evolution towards more power. Along that line of thought, they have created epic boons. This sort of existed already in the 2014 version, but they've refined that to make it more dynamic and more powerful. Every class now gets an epic boon at level 19. It's like a special feat that you can choose, and they are all pretty sweet. And they all seem pretty powerful. And they are intentionally designed to work for specific character types, whether you're a healer or a damage dealer or a spellcaster or anything else. There's an epic boon that will just push your character to the next level. So let's talk about them. The first epic boon is called Combat Prowess. You get a +1 to either your strength or dexterity, and the cap for that chosen ability score is raised to 30. This is a theme for every epic boon. Whichever ability score you increase, the cap becomes 30. Combat Prowess also lets you turn one missed weapon attack into a hit once per turn. The next epic boon is Dimensional Travel. You get to increase intelligence, wisdom, or charisma by 1, and it allows you to teleport immediately after making an attack or taking the magic action. Energy resistance gives you a +1 to con, and you get to choose 2 energy types like fire, lightning to be resistant to. And when you take damage from one of those 2 types, you can choose to redirect some of that energy towards another creature. Fate gives you a +1 to intelligence, wisdom, or charisma, and once per short rest, you can add or subtract 2d4 from another creature's d20 roll. This one reminds me of Portent from the Divination subclass of Wizard. The 2d4 is different than just choosing 2d20 rolls, but depending on what you roll with those d20s, you could end up with 2 low rolls or 2 high rolls. With this, in that moment, you can choose to increase or decrease the roll, and with 2d4s, it could have potentially a large impact on what the outcome of the roll is. Fortitude. Man, this one makes you beefy. You get a +1 to your con, you get +40 to your maximum HP. And once per turn, when you regain HP, you get to add your con modifier to the HP gained. Irresistible Offense. You get a +1 to either strength or dex. Your weapon attacks with piercing, slashing, or bludgeoning damage always ignore resistance. And when you roll a nat 20, you do bonus damage equal to the ability score modifier that you increased with this boon. Recovery. This one might actually make you even harder to kill than Fortitude. Whenever you would drop to 0 HP, you instead get boosted up to 1 plus half your HP max, and you get 10d10 per day that you can use as a bonus action to heal. Skill. Considering that I really like playing as bards and rogues, this epic boon is probably my favorite. It's right up my alley. How useful it's going to be at this high of a level, we'll see, but I think it is super awesome. So what skill does is you get to increase any ability score by 1, and you become proficient with every single skill. So everything you're not already trained in, at 19th level you have a +6 to proficiency. So you get a +6 in every skill. So you basically get rid of every weakness you have skill-wise. And you get expertise in one skill. So to one skill, you get a +12. So you could literally go from having a +0 or even a minus to having like over a +10 in something. So I think that's pretty neat. Speed gives you a +1 to dex, and it allows you to disengage and end the grappled condition as a bonus action, and it adds 30 feet to your movement speed. Spell Recall gives you a +1 to intelligence, wisdom, or charisma, and this is interesting. It's a bit of a gamble. It could be strong, but I don't know if it holds up compared to the other epic boons. Anytime you cast a spell of 1st through 4th level, you roll a d4. If the die comes out to the same number as the level of spell slot you used, you do not expend that spell slot. I don't know the percentages, like maybe a 15 to 25% chance. I'm not a statistician of not wasting a 1 through 4th level spell slot. And compared to what some of these other boons can do, that's just not that crazy powerful at level 19. You've got 9th level spells. So, I mean, if it did it for, maybe if they did a D8 and it was spell level 1 through 8, I don't know, but it's cool. Not anywhere near as powerful as some of these other things you're going to be able to do. Night Spirit, my favorite name for one of these epic boons. It gives you a bonus to anything but strength or con. And if you're in dim light or darkness, you can become invisible as a bonus action. The invisibility ends if you take an action, a bonus action, or a reaction. And while you're in dim light or darkness, you have resistance to all damage except for psychic and radiant. This is pretty powerful considering that you're in dim light or darkness a lot in D&D. I don't think it has as powerful an impact as some of the other epic boons again. Turning invisible is nice, but the fact that any action, bonus action, or reaction ends it means it's not even as strong as regular invisibility. So probably not one I would choose, but it has some neat flavor and I love the name. And last but not least, True Sight. You get a bonus to intelligence, wisdom, or charisma, and it gives you true sight out to 60 feet. You can see everything invisible, see through all illusions, see any secret doors. It's pretty awesome. True Sight is a very powerful ability. This may be slick the strongest of all the epic boons, but because it doesn't have the exciting flavor, it's probably going to get chosen less. But True Sight is pretty awesome, especially at high level play where enemies, magic users, BBEGs are doing all kinds of evil, nefarious stuff to trick the players. Having True Sight, or at least one player with it, would be super beneficial. If you guys made it this far, throw me a like. If you are interested in keeping up with the 2024 Player's Handbook stuff, go ahead and subscribe. I got these other videos you might like. Thanks, guys.